Hello, this is NYCTaxiCabTales. I'm driving Josh. Hey Josh, how are you?
I'm pretty good. How's it going?
How's your day?
It was a good day. A little tired, but a good day.
Josh, can I ask you something?
Yes, you may, Paul.
What do you think about this crazy election?
This election is very, very scary for, apparently all Americans are feeling this tension right now, and it's really tiring for all of us and confusing. I think you wanted to know who I support. I support Hillary Clinton.
Why?
I support her because she seems to be the most competent of the two. She's, if you look at her going all the way back to when she was in college, she has spent her entire life working to help people. And I understand it gets complicated. People say, oh, she was, maybe just the wife of a politician or something like this. But if you look at her resume, you will see she has spent her entire life
creating social justice.
Yeah, exactly. Trying to make the world a better place. And I don't know too much about Trump, except I do know that, based on how I see him act, he doesn't always seem like the most loving person who cares about making people happy. I don't know. I really don't know. But what I do know is I look at people's actions, and I feel like I've been very confused that people seem, ever since she was the first lady, there was a lot of anger against her, and I don't know. I'm really excited to have finally a female president.
Great.
And I think it's way overdue. And I sometimes worry that there's a little bit of misogyny going on that maybe people don't even realize, because again, I think it's about time we had a female president, and one who seems to me to be very competent. And,
Josh, let me ask you, how do you rate President Obama?
Here's a guy who came in, the Onion had a headline the day he was elected that said, worst job in the country goes to black man. And that was a good joke.
Yeah.
The joke is that when he came into power as the president, it was just when the financial crisis, the market had collapsed.
And the two wars.
And the two wars had already started. And he had a Congress who, on tape and recording, said, we will do whatever we can to make it so he has a difficult time passing it. So here's a guy who had a really difficult introduction to being the president of the United States of America. I think he did an incredible job in those circumstances. I think he's a very level-headed, very cool, very funny, very nice guy. He was painted as some kind of not cool, friendly person. He actually seems to be very friendly. Similar to Hillary, I never quite understood the vitriol against her. People really seem to not like him. And I see him as a very serious person who takes his job seriously. And I'm not saying, I don't know much about Trump, but I do know that somebody like Obama and somebody like Hillary, they've paid their dues. They work hard. They take things seriously.
Public service.
Public service. Trump, I don't know. One last thing, I'll just say, I think it's kind of funny, and I thought this about George Bush Jr., who looks like an angel next to Trump, but it just seems amazing to me that here's a guy who lives in Manhattan in a gold tower, in a city that has never been a Republican stronghold. And a guy who, similar to George Bush Jr., was, and I have nothing against people who come from money, there's nothing wrong with that, but I just think it's interesting that you have somebody who has been given everything, lives in a gold tower in Manhattan, and somehow has like the working people in the Republicans who see themselves as like hardworking. Anyway, I'm not putting it into words correctly, but I find it fascinating that somebody I would have never believed in a million years. George Bush Jr. went to Yale, vacations in Maine, is from a New England family, but, did this whole Texan shtick. Again, I'm not saying he's a bad guy, but it's fascinating to me, once again, we see a Republican nominee who is saying that he's,
But
Hillary grew up poor and busted her ass her entire life.
she will make a good president.
Yeah, she's going to be a great president.
Thank you, Josh.
Yeah, thanks,
I
Paul.
appreciate it.